Hello, backers. We are here today to show you the latest and the greatest in Gascony's legacy, the story of the Three Musketeers. Today we're going to dig into the gameplay and the feel and show you the breakdown of the new and improved character sheets, the artwork, and all of the components that you're going to be receiving in Gascony's legacy. And this video here will help show all the next stages of the game for the Pulse campaign, Kickstarter, and any other projects in the future. So this will be technically your playthrough of the opening scenario of the game?
Yeah, it's a simple scenario from the beginning of the game. The way it works, a lot of them are mixed and matched through a scenario deck.
Yep.
There's more detail on that in the rulebook that we'll be uploading shortly, if we haven't already uploaded it by the time this video goes live.
Cool. Well, all right. Well, let's. I'm Thomas here, and we've got Aaron over here.
Hey, Internet.
Across the table. We'll try and be as loud as we can. All right. So here we go. We're here in the Manor Studios, and let's just dig into this, shall we?
Yeah, we've set this up as a two-player game. So we see that Aramis and Porthos are not in use right now, but we do have D'Artagnan and Athos in use.
Let's take a look at these guys. So Aramis and Porthos. These guys are not going to be used. However, we've got some delicious looking art for them.
It is nice to see these character sheets with the final artwork. We were waiting quite a while on that.
Yes, we got that with final character sheets here as well. Which you'll see these beautiful board sheets, nice and small. If you are a Legacy fan, our character sheets have usually been really large in the past, but these ones are nice and compact. So yeah, let's break into the components of the game and just let everyone know what's going on and give it a layout.
Yeah, okay, so what we've got here is several terrain tiles that have been laid out in a customized shape for this particular scenario. On top of that, we've got all of our character standees and our stance tokens, which are much nicer than the ones we showed off in some previous videos. We've also got lots of enemy tokens and some terrain objects, as well as a standee for the Cardinal's Captain, who's sort of the more challenging enemy in this scenario. Other than that, we've got our character boards, which you already touched on, as well as lots and lots of little tokens. We've got our Destiny tokens, which are very familiar, as well as our Wound tokens, which I'm sure you've seen many, many times. We've also got our quest coins, which really won't see much use in this particular demonstration, because now they are saved and spent between scenarios when you're playing the campaign.
We've got the Stones of Chance.
Making an appearance.
I believe we are doing blue ones this time.
Might be purple. We've still got to talk to the manufacturer about the best way to handle those.
Yeah.
On top of that, we got lots and lots of cards here on the table, including very nice player references that break down what your player turn looks like, as well as your what all the dice faces do, and when the enemy phase happens, things like that. Each character starts with a rapier, which is a very simple sword.
How's this break down?
Got a very simplistic attack radius, which I think is something we didn't touch on in some of the earlier Kickstarter videos. The way the basic attack radius works is you can attack 3 squares adjacent to your character in the pattern shown on the card, and they have to be in the direction of your arc. So if we look at the arc on my standee next to the diagram on this card, we can see that I can attack the square in front, the square beside, and the square diagonally adjacent as well. Well, if I flip my character arc during combat, even though the diagram on the card is facing the one direction, it means you would then mentally flip the arc in the other direction, so you could attack the other 3 squares.
That's right. Well, I'm going to start left-handed then. And you can start right-handed, and we got all the center arcs covered.
Excellent.
So we start with rapiers, but there's all different kinds of other weapons you can get in the game that have different arc combinations.
Yes, we've got this whole equipment deck, which has lots of fancy different styles.
This is the broadsword and dagger. I love sword and dagger.
A lot of the weapons have significantly more effective arcs than what's on our starting gear. Now I see you've grabbed a gun.
This one's a little different. The arcs are a little different.
The arcs on the firearms show you which direction you can attack in, but instead of targeting adjacent squares, they actually target everything within line of sight, as long as you attack in that direction.
Oh, cool. So see, yeah, because this one here's got the... By the way, when I say oh cool, I'm making it sound like I'm from your perspective. I actually know how to play the game. But so we've got the gun. Oh, that's great. Awesome. Okay, cool. Well, I can't start with those. I really want to, but I can't. So we start with a rapier. But hey, that's all the Musketeers need, right?
That's right.
Sorry, Athos and Porthos.
Now,
Or Aramis and Porthos.
the way we get these equipment cards is by drawing loot, which can be a number of different things.
What do we got here? We got coins. Oh, sorry about the glare there, everyone, but we got coins. And we've got a cross. What does a cross do? Discard this card on your turn to gain 1 destiny. That's pretty cool. It's very Aramis. We've got bread. What does bread do?
Bread can be used to heal wounds.
Ooh, bread heals wounds. Yeah, a hard bread can be used as a rigid parry too in fencing. And then we've got just coins. Discard this card to immediately gain 2 coins. And we got lint. All of his pockets are empty, or almost empty, and it's junk. So I guess that this is just a joke card.
Yeah, there's a lot of cards in the loot deck that are nothing. You just get unlucky when you draw those. And they've all got humorous dialogue on them. There's a lot of different types. Hopefully we'll see some of those in this playthrough, or not see some of those in this playthrough if you get lucky.
I don't want the lint. So you were saying we had these tiles here. These are all different tiles that are laid out in a specific scenario format.
That's exactly it.
And we've got crates. What do these crates do?
Crates primarily grant cover if an enemy tries to attack you through those and you are partially obscured.
Barrels.
Barrels can be kicked over and rolled into enemies.
So it says here it's got a movement, a boot, and 3 beside it. So I take it that's the check you need to make.
That's exactly it.
And then when the check happens, you flip it over. It has an arrow, and then and like Donkey Kong, you send it down the line, and it takes out things.
That's right.
And you have to say that every time you do it. I'm just kidding. Let's not do that. Okay, we got like a carriage, or like a wagon. This is a wagon.
Yep.
It's beautiful. What's the wagon do?
It's used specifically in some other scenarios.
Awesome. Hay bales. What's with the hay bales? I like these.
The hay bales cost extra movement points to pass through.
Oh, excellent. All right.
And then we've got lots of Cardinals Guards and Cardinals Marksmen on the map as well.
We've got a gunner.
Specifically 2 of the Cardinals Marksmen per player and 3 of the Cardinals Guards per player.
The Cardinals Guards have a rapier. So,
Yes.
so the style is very similar to the other Albion's Legacy games, of the Legacy games, where in Albion's Legacy you had like different symbols and stuff for like traders and knights and dragons and all that fun stuff.
Now, one thing that's in this game that I believe is new to Gascony's and wasn't featured in any of the other Legacy games is these enemy stat cards, which also explain how those enemies function.
Interesting. That says here they've got 1 and the prowess symbol, which is the attack symbol, 3 boots and 2 shields. So I'm assuming that the prowess is how many dice they roll when they're attacking you.
Well, in the case of the marksman, it's how many dice they roll when they're attacking you, and you can see that it's represented by a die face instead of just the prowess symbol.
Oh, I see.
The Cardinals Guards actually just deal a straight 1 damage when they attack you.
Oh, they get the attack in on you.
That's right. So the Cardinals Marksmen can potentially get a lot more successes than the Guards, but they're not always going to do anything.
Oh, amazing. And then the boots are how far they move, and then the shields are what their defenses are.
Right, which is how many successes you need against them when you make an attack.
Oh, I love a good dungeon crawl.
And then the other enemy stat card we've got here is the Cardinals Captain, which is a special card showing off his wound slots, because we do need to hit him more than once in order to defeat him.
I see he's got quite the defense of 4.
Yes, he's extremely difficult to hit. In the case of this scenario, it may be better for us to try to just walk past him rather than engaging him in a full-on brawl.
Let's try and take him out, yeah.
And now, he's a little different. You'll notice he doesn't have a prowess stat or anything on his card. The reason for that is he uses these threat cards, which specifically tell you how he acts and reacts as we play the game.
You may have seen this symbol before. It's the threat symbol in the other Legacy games. It's definitely the thing that we use to indicate the things that are bad. In this case here, Cardinals Captain, it says here, move up to 2 squares and make 3 prowess attack. Ooh, so 3 prowess would be 3 dice.
That's right.
3 dice attack against the character with the fewest wound tokens. So
now, Gascony's Legacy does things a little bit differently than previous Legacies. You don't actually roll the Stones of a Chance when making challenges.
Oh.
You use these D6s here.
Oh, there we go, see?
A 5 counts as 1 success, a 6 counts as 2. Very straightforward. And the Stones of Chance are actually rolled at the beginning of every player turn, granting us bonuses throughout the round. Now, in a 2-player game, we'll only need to play with 2 of these, so we can go ahead and set 2 aside.
Just and when we roll these dice, we roll them for...
It's part of the all-for-one roll.
All for one
each
and
turn of
one
the game.
for all. Done.
The last card we'll touch on before we start playing is the reaction card. These are very similar to the threat cards that the Cardinals captain uses, but they are reactions that the generic enemies can take if you attack them and don't defeat them in your roll.
Riposte. The enemy is not wounded. Ooh. Counterattack. Enemy counterattacks. Oof. Shuffle those up if you like. Alright, so we got those shuffled up. We got loot, which we've already gone through. Okay, so why don't you say we just get into the action?
Alright, well, let's start off the first turn by doing our all-for-one roll.
So we roll these. Alright, you got a boot, and I got the Lion Courage.
That's right. Now, if we refer to our dice chart, we can see that the boot is used for moving one extra square.
Okay.
The courage can either remove a doom effect or grant an extra destiny token.
Okay, so what's the... So I have a maximum, it says here on my character sheet. So yeah, let's go through this for real quick. So I've got 3 destiny. That the number 3 is how many destiny tokens I'm going to put onto my character sheet. I have 3 possible wounds. When I take the 4th wound, that's when my character goes down.
Right.
I have 4 prowess and 5 movement. That's how many movement I can take in terms of the actual movement on the board. And the prowess is how many of these d6s I'm going to be rolling when making a particular attack, whether it be with my rapier or any other upgraded weapon. And then I have my talent and my support. The talent looks like it's used by the altruism symbol, and the support is used by the loyalty symbol, and that's coordinated attack.
Yeah, the supports are very interesting because you can never actually use your own support ability. It's a bonus that you grant other characters as long as they're within a certain range from your character.
Which is awesome because the Musketeers are all about working together in that case. And so it says here that remove a doom effect. And so a doom effect is very dominant in Albion's Legacy and Sherwood's Legacy. And it's this cool little like skull-looking symbol thing. And these doom effects are granted by...
Well, there's a number of things that are scenario-specific that can grant them. In this case, some of the Cardinals' captains' attacks can actually grant doom effects. And what the doom effect does is it makes you roll 1 less die on every challenge.
Well, so it's like a disadvantage in some cases. So yeah, so if I'm rolling 4 dice on all of my attacks, and I get a doom effect, that might be like I'm bleeding or I'm poisoned or something, and I lose a die, which significantly decreases my odds of succeeding.
Exactly.
Unless I need a 2 and I rolled a 6, so I got it. Perfect. Okay, so I think we've got this kind of laid out a little bit here. We rolled our all-for-one. The all-for-one goes in some sort of common pool so that we all have access to it. Get these guys out of the way so we know not to deal with them. And I guess we'll figure out who's going to go first.
Yeah, it's up to us which order we want to go in. What did you say your movement was?
My movement is 5, so I can just gun it and get up there if I need to. The problem is that these guys are all kind of surrounding the guns. Okay, so how do these guys work here? We've got these little rapier guys. So before I come charging in, am I just going to get shot up, or?
Well, you could potentially take a lot of wounds from the marksmen if we're not careful and if they're very lucky. And the Cardinals guards are a bit of a known quantity because any of the ones that survive your initial attack are going to deal 1 wound to you.
So they survive the initial attack, and what that means is they're wounded.
Yes.
It's a wounded token.
And any wounded enemies will be automatically defeated the next time you attack them.
Oh, really? So they're just like, because they're wounded, yeah.
Yeah, so it's one of the things that helps mitigate a lot of dice frustration in the game. Now, if we were smarter gamers, we'd probably start like this. Because we get to choose which place we want to put our characters to start the game.
Right, what's your movement?
My movement is only 4.
But your attack is higher than mine.
My attack is higher than yours.
We all know that Athos could beat D'Artagnan in a fight, but in this case, we'll let this one slide.
The reason I suggest starting this way, and feel free to disagree with me, is that it means you could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and jump right into combat getting 2 attacks instead of just hoping for the best with 1.
Right. And then your plan is to sort of catch up and help us out.
Yeah, with my slower movement, it's going to take a little bit of effort for me to get into range, but I'll do what I can.
All right, let's have some fun. Let's get gutsy. So I got a rapier with a nice 3-point arc. I'm gonna make movement forward. It's a good suggestion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Nice sidestep there.
I'm in the thick of it. My fencing arc is facing this way, which is great for me. Now, it's good to note that movement counts as each of these squares moved, and or you're facing. So your turning actually counts as a movement as well.
That's right.
But you're allowed to sidestep, but the turning is super important because of the way your arcs of your weapons fight. So it's very swashbuckling. So in this case, 1, 2, 3, 4, dash side, and then I'm going to swipe.
Excellent.
So I'm going to make my attack. I've got 4 dice. Now, I'm fighting two enemies at once. How is this going to go down?
Well, you're going to roll your attack, and then you're going to count your successes and assign them to any of the enemies as you see fit.
I see.
Ideally, you have enough successes to take out both enemies.
All right. I'm going to roll now, and we're going to get to what the Destiny and stuff can do when I need it. And I'm rolling. Okay. Ba-ba-ba-da. So I got a 2, a 1, a 4, and a 6. Now we know that we need 5s and 6s for successes, and 6s explode. So I've got a 6 here, which means I've got 2 successes. I could theoretically just take both of them out, or I could wound them both, or I could take one out.
So they've got 3 defense.
Oh, never mind.
Which means you're going to need a total of 6 successes to take out both of them. So with your 2, you're almost successful enough to take one out. So you only need 1 more success to take out one of these guards. And there's a few ways we can achieve that. If you go back to your reference card, you'll see that Destiny can be spent in 2 ways. When attacking, you can re-roll any number of your dice, or you can spend it to just straight up add 1 success.
Oh, interesting. So if I spend a Destiny token, and I'm not limited to how many I can spend, so if I spend 1 Destiny token, I could just basically turn one of these into a 5, which adds the success. And that's
right.
3 to take one out. So when I take them out, do I wound them or do I wipe them out entirely?
So the way that would work, suppose you take this course of action.
Yeah.
One of them, of your choice, will be taken out entirely, and the remaining one will be flipped over to its wounded side.
So you're automatically slicing them and wounding them. Okay.
Yes. Now the enemy that's not taken out will get a reaction.
Excellent. Okay, so I don't necessarily want that to happen. So in which case, I can spend the Destiny to re-roll all my dice.
Any number of them. So you could keep those 2 successes.
Yes, I'm going to keep the 6. I'm going to spend a Destiny now because I know that Destiny can come back.
Yes.
Toss that guy out, and I'm going to give it a roll. Oh,
that's
3
very good.
6s. So
Very
2,
good
4,
roll.
6 successes, which is exactly what I need to take them out. So whack, whack.
So both of those enemies get removed.
Athos comes in, does a side dash, whoosh, takes him out using his excellent skills. Now, I do have other things I can do, in which case I've got the knife throw. There's nothing in the all for one pool here that allows me to use my knife throw, so there's no altruism symbol, so I can't use my knife throw, which would allow me to attack a target up to 3 squares away by tossing my knife.
Now, what's actually handy in this case is that you could use your action, which you haven't spent yet, to make that knife throw. Because the dice give you bonus actions. You're never restricted in what you can do on your turn.
There we go. Excellent. So in this case, I've made my attack. I've made my move. Now I have an action. I'm actually going to elect to throw my knife throw because I think taking this gunner out from a distance is a really decent idea. Now I could go 1, 2, 3. Can I hit this guy still? Because can we shoot orthogonally or diagonally? I go 1, 2, 3, or does that count as too far away?
Diagonal counts as 2. So
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. So he's too far away from you.
Yeah, and I don't really care about this guy because I think
I'm going to be able to reach him.
Yeah? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just throw my knife at this guy. So I run in, I dash to the side, whoosh, take my knife out, throw the knife. The knife is made at my regular attack, so I'm going to roll 4 dice. The gunner's defenses are 2, because they're not as defensive, and I need to take them out. And wow! Wow, okay, so this apparently is my game. I killed that gunner and the rest of the family lineage, apparently. So I got 2, 4, 6, 7 successes. That knife went right into some vital organ and into the wall behind him, and then killed the rest of his family lineage, and that's the end of it.
Now, we did get a little bit ahead of ourselves. When you killed these 2 guards, because you defeated them outright on your initial roll, we should have gotten loot draws for both.
Yeah,
of
we
those.
got distracted by the fact that I rolled too many 6s.
We're also going to need a loot draw for that gunner. So you're actually going to draw a total of 3 loot cards.
Okay. Give me some lint.
Hope you get something good.
All right, so for the first 2 guards, I got a apple and an equipment. Okay, so let's read the apple first. Discard this card on your turn to heal 1 wound. Now, can I carry equipment? Is it unlimited?
That's right. There's no limit on how many equipment cards you can hold.
I'm going to stuff this apple in my satchel.
If you do look at your rapier, though, you'll see that certain weapons are one-handed, certain weapons are two-handed.
Right.
You can carry 2 one-handed weapons, or you can carry 1 two-handed weapons. But you can't carry 3 hands worth of weapons because you only have the 2 to work with.
Correct. So the apple gets tossed away in a pouch, and then it says equipment. Immediately discard this card and draw from the equipment deck. So I'll trade.
Excellent.
Let's see what happens here. What did I get? Ooh, club. It's a two-handed. And the club looks like it can be swung all around. Oh, sorry about the camera there, guys. I bumped into it. It looks like the club can be swung all around, which is really cool. It costs 3 coins to buy. I'm not going to buy it because I just found it. And I roll 1 fewer die when attacking with this weapon.
I'm glad you pointed out the coins on the card there, because that ties into the quest coins as I talked about earlier. If we manage to collect some of these in the scenario, before moving on to the next one, we would have the option to draw a number of equipment cards and spend those coins purchasing the equipment card we drew.
I actually like this all 360 kind of thing. But you got a better attack than me, so it might be wise to give this to you. Can I hold a weapon for you, or I can't do 3 weapons? I'd have to drop this rapier to take this club.
That's right.
I don't know, guys. What do you think I should do? Vote up or vote down? No, I'm kidding. What do you think I should do? I don't know what to do. Let's look at the last loot card first. Coins. Immediately discard this card and gain 2 coins.
Excellent.
Right on. So Athos is not only wealthy, but he has the potential to get a club. You know what? For the sake of this demonstration, you got a chance to see that cool rapier maneuver. I'm going to toss the rapier to the ground, knowing that I can pick it up later, or I'll sheath it. We'll just say sheath it, even though I can't play it, because Athos doesn't want to give away his blade. He's got a club now. Rock and roll. Threw the dagger, took out the guy. I think that's my turn.
Excellent. Now, there is one pretty cool thing you could do to end off your turn. If you see the courage result, that can actually be used to regain a spent destiny token.
Oh, and since you haven't spent any yet, we don't know if you're going to need to. I'm going to do that. All for one and one for all. So that guy's gone. So there's an extra movement one, so you might want to use that one because we've got to get you into the combat.
Absolutely. In fact, that's the only way I'm going to be able to reach that Cardinal's Guard.
Let's get him.
So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then spend the extra movement to move 1 space forward. And then I can make my attack.
Oh, so you can just kind of slide across and go past those crates and take them out.
Exactly. So I'm going to make a 5 prowess roll.
Let's see this roll.
And hope for the best. That's about right. Someone had to get that.
So you got 2, 2, 2, 2, 3.
I'm going to go ahead and spend a destiny to re-roll that abysmal roll.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try to re-roll all of it. And that's more like it.
Okay, so 2 and it's 3 successes.
Which defeats his defense of 3.
So he's gone.
And I get to draw a loot card.
Dun, 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 dun,
Which gives me lint.
Oh my gosh.
All of his pockets are empty, or almost empty.
So it's pretty much the Athos D'Artagnan thing. Athos goes in, does everything with style, gets some stuff. D'Artagnan goes in, swinging, gets some lint. Cool.
And I don't think I have any applicable actions on this turn.
What's your action, by the way? What's your talent, by the way?
My talent is that when I attack, I can also target one adjacent enemy.
Oh, nice.
So I'm really good at killing groups of enemies. And my support is that if I'm adjacent to your target when you attack, you gain +1 prowess.
Oh, wow. That's like a...
What was your support ability as well?
My support ability is coordinated acrobatics. If Athos is within 2 squares, you may swap spaces. Do not change facing.
Excellent.
Well, that's actually really cool.
So that's it for our first player turn.
Now they're going to go.
Yes.
So we flip our cards back over, and on there we've got player reference, player turn. No, never mind. It's good. Okay, it's time for the bad guys to go.
That's right.
What happens now?
We'll start with the Cardinal's Guards, and then the Cardinal's Marksmen, followed finally by the Cardinal's Captain.
Done.
The Guards just want to move as close to us as possible, and they get to move up to 4 spaces. So they're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4.
Ooh.
1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4.
So D'Artagnan's getting some attacks.
Yep. And the Cardinal's Marksmen are a little different. They want to move to a space 4 spaces away from a player.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. So
That's
he's backing up on the stairs to take the shot. This guy's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So not enough. And then this one's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And those 2 gunners aren't within range to shoot us.
That's right.
Right on. And then they attack.
That's right. So the guards that are adjacent to you will each automatically deal 1 wound. And the marksman is a little different, so we'll get to that in a minute. So first things first, you get 2 wounds.
That's you. He attacked you.
Oh, is it me? Oh,
look at this guy.
I'm
trying
sad
to
now.
sneak it in. You can take the wounds.
That is me. That's heartbreaking.
You got the lint.
I did get lint. Yes, that's
There you
true.
go.
Oh, and I'm going to get attacked by
The gunner.
which
Ugh.
isn't all bad because at least I've got some cover.
Yep.
So the gunner is going to roll a 1 die to
Potentially roll a 6.
potentially roll a 6, and my cover means that if he gets any hits, I get to roll a die and
In defense.
yes.
Well, he rolled a big, stinky 1.
So I just won't even roll my cover because he wasn't successful in his attack.
Okay. Now the Cardinals guard gets, or the Cardinals captain gets to go.
Yes. Now they're a little different. We flip one of their cards.
Dun, 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 dun.
And we see that it moves up to 3 squares away from any character, then heals a wound. So that's a defensive card. We got lucky. It's
We
not
lucked
going to do
out.
anything in this
Just
case.
hanging out over there. Okay. Next round. Well, I don't think there's any particular turn order, so if it depends, do you want to just go and start cleaning the house?
Well, let's start with our all-for-one roll.
Ah, good idea. Here we go. All for one, one for all. Ooh. So this is a
Excellent.
nice variety. You got the altruism symbol, and I got the destiny symbol.
Which could be used to remove a wound, which might be very useful for me this time around.
Or the mana burst. I called it a destiny. Yes. Okay. So yeah, you definitely should be healing, and then we could use that as a bonus extra action. So we could throw extra knives, or you could just be going in and cleaning house.
Exactly.
All right. Well, why don't you go first and then heal and stuff? Because if we don't kill anything, then at least you've healed up.
Excellent. So flipping back to my player turn, just for prudence. And I'm going to go ahead and just attack these 2 enemies that are right in front of me.
Right.
Because I'm thirsty for combat.
There's 5 dice for you.
Excellent. And hopefully I can get a little bit of a better roll than last time.
Did it?
Not what I was hoping for, but if I spend this destiny, maybe that'll do it for me.
So you're keeping the one behind.
Yes.
You got 1 success in. You're gonna need 6 in total, but you got 3. Now you could just keep blowing all your destiny to keep re-rolling until you've Yahtzeed your way into it.
I could, but instead I think I'm going to take what I can get. I'll kill this guy outright and wound this one.
That's good for me.
Yes, exactly. So the one that was wounded gets a reaction. Attacker is pushed back 1 square if possible. So it's going to push me back 1 square away from the enemy.
Oh, actually, that's not a bad move.
No, it's certainly not the worst thing that could have happened this turn. And I do get a loot card for the one I defeated outright, and we'll see that this time I get an apple.
Which can be
Hey, that's
used.
exactly what I need.
Yes.
It's still my turn. I'm going to discard that apple right away
So D'Artagnan's just chewing on an apple.
to heal 1
Takes
wound.
a wound. Do you want to use the destiny symbol, or sorry, the mana burst to heal another one?
Yeah, if you're not opposed to it.
No, take it. You need
Excellent.
the wounds. Okay. So the wounds are not necessarily like blood cuts and stuff like that. They're just like, like a little slash here or like a punch to the gut there, and we're just cleaning it up so that way it's not like Dungeons and Dragons where you can take 300 arrows before you go down. It's more like your dodging capabilities. Okay, right. So I guess you've got movement you could still do if you wanted to run somewhere and hide from the gunners. Oh no, you're healed.
Yeah, I'm in pretty good shape. I might just keep moving forward because after all, we do eventually need to get to the other side of this map.
Yeah, go for it.
So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And as you can see, I snuck through that diagonal there.
Yeah, you just slip through. Okay, it's time to go. All right, we'll do this. I want to, because you can use your movement in any combination. So I'm
That's
going
right.
to use one of my movement to go here, another movement to. I guess it doesn't really matter because I've got the club, so I could just swing 360. Now, will I hit you if I swing 360?
No, there's no player damage. So
All right,
it's
so it's
still
just kind of like whatever I can hit. Okay, so I'm gonna take the club, swing 360 anyway, and I'm gonna roll 1 fewer die, which is kind of sad because I only get 3 dice at this point to do what I need to. I'm not necessarily. Wow, there we go. Some bad rolls. It's definitely gonna be destiny time for that one. Oof, only
One
one
success.
success. Well, it'll automatically kill him, so I'm gonna go for destiny again. Reroll these 2. 3 successes.
Hey.
Okay, so the wounded guy's gone. He's been maced to the head. The other guy's been taken out by my very, very expensive series of attacks. I'll grab a loot card. Loot card says, "Fur pelt. I'm not sure what to do with this." And I'm not just saying that. It actually says on the card, I'm not sure what to do with this.
So that was a junk card.
Yep. Now, do I get one for each of them?
No, what happened there is because the wounded one had already suffered some damage and already been worn out a little, it was defeated automatically, but you didn't roll enough successes to defeat it naturally.
The successes will give you the loots.
Exactly.
Here we go. Now, I've got movement left. I've got 4 movement left. I think what I'm going to do is this an action?
Yes.
No, I haven't taken an action yet. So I'm going to sidestep. I've got 3 movement left. I'm going to attempt to kick that barrel.
Excellent. So you will roll dice equal to your movement stat, which
is really good for me. And I need 3 successes. So here we go. Oh, no, I'm blowing my last destiny for this one because just for the sake of this is the opening scenario. It's easy, but I want you to see what happens here. Okay, sweet. So I got my successes. I've kicked the barrel. I'm going to flip the barrel token over. No, and so the barrel's going to come rolling down. Now, what happens when I kick the barrel? It goes all the way to the end.
Yes, it goes all the way until it hits an obstacle, in this case, the wall.
Yeah, and then what happens? The players are an obstacle, or the enemy tokens aren't obstacles. The enemy tokens just die.
Right. Well, the enemy tokens get flipped to their wounded side. If there were more than one enemy token in that path, they would all be defeated.
There we go. So, boom, I've wounded him. The barrel explodes. That's the end of that one. And if the cardinal was there, that would have been great.
Yes.
But unfortunately, he was running away. So we ended up wounding that guard. And now, what I'd like to do is, if you don't mind, I'd like to use this altruism to gain my knife throw as a bonus talent.
That seems like a great plan.
Now here's a question. I've got 4 dice. I get my max attack to use my talent because it's a knife throw, it's not my club.
Yes.
And so I'm going to throw this over and try and take this one out here. And I did. 3 successes. Knife. Gunner goes down. So cinematically, I just kind of I did like a little box step, kicked the barrel, swiped, took some mace, took a bunch of guys out, threw a dagger to the side, took this guy out, and now I've got 1 gunner that's fresh and 1 gunner that's wounded. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that they shoot at me and not him, because I've got an apple, and I got 3 movement left. I'm going 1, 2, 3, because what's going to happen is they're all going to back away. Actually, you know what? Maybe I should stay here because then you can go in and get rid of them.
Yeah, they're already at range 4. They're going to stay exactly where they are and attack you.
That sounds like a good plan. You know what? I'm going to sit right there. Sit nice and pretty. Sweet. End of turn. All right, let's do these gunners. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's actually perfectly where he needs. They're both where they need to be.
Yeah.
So they can take a shot at me.
So first one goes.
Nothing. 1 wound.
6. And no cover, so you'll just take it right away.
Boom. It hurts.
And then the Cardinals captain.
Go ahead. Tell us what we got.
Move up to 2 squares to align template to most characters. Make a 2 prowess attack against all characters in the template.
So it's going to go 1, 2.
Yes. Which, it's a shame it didn't do that on the first turn, so we could have hit it with that barrel.
With the barrel.
If we had, we would have automatically gotten a wound on its...
On its wound track, yeah, which is good. Sweet. All right, so let's do our all for 1. Go to the next turn.
Yeah.
Movement and mana burst.
That is awesome. Do you mind if I take the first turn?
You go for it.
Excellent. Because with that movement, which is exactly what I was hoping for, I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, spend the movement for an extra move.
It's perfectly on your arc, too.
Right in position to
take
those guys out.
5 dice.
And here's hoping for a better roll than I've been getting so far.
You still got destiny. Oof.
1 success. I'm going to spend my destiny to re-roll the rest of these.
You just need 2 more. 2 more.
You know what? I might not even do that because they only require 2 successes, and 1's already wounded. So I'm going to spend my destiny to add a success, which lets me take that one out, and that one is automatically defeated because it's wounded.
You get 1 loot card. And that Cardinals captain looks real scared. Cross.
And which I'm going to immediately discard to regain a destiny.
So you got a little bit of action economy back for that. That was kind of cool. Nice reward.
Yeah.
And so you've made all of your movements. And you can't use your actions. So you're pretty much done.
Yeah, that's it for me.
All right. So I'm going to go and dash forward with my 5. First I'm going to eat the apple. Sounds like a good idea.
Yep.
Get rid of that wound. Pesky wound. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's sit right there. That's it. We could use this guy. Let's see what it can be used for. Any result or remove one wound. You know what? I'm going to spend it to do any result and move forward one more.
Excellent.
And take a swipe with my big mace. It's going to be kind of hard to get 4 successes on 3 dice. 2 successes. So I missed. So now it gets a reaction.
Yes. And for his reaction, you pull one of his threat cards.
Oh, that's right.
And you read the bottom section, which says gain 1 doom.
Ugh. What's the doom do to me?
That makes you roll 1 fewer dice.
Oh my gosh, I'm only rolling 2 dice against them?
Yep.
Well, I went from like the guy that cleared the entire house to the dude that just can't fight the boss. Oh, we just have to get past them though.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm just going to run.
I think that's probably the right call.
Okay, so it's now the Cardinal's turn. Cardinal's
sure is.
captain's turn.
And he draws a threat card,
Yep.
which says, move up to 2 squares and make a 3 prowess attack against the character with the fewest wound tokens.
Well, that would be basically me, because he can't get to you. But maybe he would. Yeah, stay right there. Let's do it. 3 prowess attack.
Yep.
1 wound. And it hurts so good. Done.
And back to us, which means...
All for 1.
And 1 for all.
Ooh, double destiny.
What does it mean?
Double mana burst. I don't know why I keep calling it destiny today. Oh gosh, you know what? Up to 2. Oh, if only you were up to 2 spaces. Maybe. So I get to make my knife attack at 3 dice. So it might be better to do my knife attack. I got an idea. Do you mind if I go first and use these?
Not at all.
Okay, I'm going to use this. I'm going to toss out that and turn it into a movement. No, not yet. First thing, yes, toss it out, do a movement, back up. I'm going to use my action to throw the knife, giving me what would normally be 4 dice, but because I have a doom effect, 3 dice, which is much better odds than this club. I'm too fancy. I can't roll my dice. I got nothing, so I missed it entirely. So there'll be a reaction card. But it won't be able to do much, I think, because I moved. It's a distant attack.
Reaction. Attacker must discard 1 destiny if possible.
Oh, I don't have
you
any.
Don't have any.
Eat it.
And these will get reshuffled.
Shuffle that up. Now what I'm going to do with this last one is I am going to spend it as if it was... Oh, I can't use my coordinated action. What's your coordinated action?
If I'm adjacent to your target, you get bonuses.
You're going to use it as your coordinated action on your turn as a bonus and swap with me so you can get in there and take him out.
I like it.
All right, let's do it. So that's it for my turn. I suppose theoretically I could have made an attack, but the reason why I didn't make an attack with my club is because I'm afraid that with 2 dice I would essentially need to roll double 6s to take him out. And that's not very good odds for me, and I don't want to test the reaction deck out or his threats or his reaction threat because, as you can see, it can be quite detrimental.
Now, since you haven't used any of your actual movement yet, did you want to try to work your way past him? Because I'll still have all my movement on my
Oh
turn,
yeah,
too.
yeah. I guess in this case you can use this for bonuses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. Sidestep 3, 4. I'll turn this way just in case. 5.
I like it.
Next turn I can run out.
And then back to me. I'm going to start by going 1, 2, 3.
Get him.
And I will roll my 5 prowess attack at him, hoping for the best.
You still have a destiny, so that's good.
Yeah.
Oh
Well, that's 1 success.
gosh.
I'll spend my destiny to re-roll the others.
Oh, there it
that's
is.
more like it.
First wound.
So that beats his defense, adds a wound to his card,
No reaction.
and I have no attacks. I have 1 movement left, and I still have an action, which I could use. How close are you? You're not within 2 squares. Otherwise, I could use your.
You have
your
1
ability.
move.
Oh, that's true. I could go.
Sidestep. Swap us out so that way, yeah.
Yep.
So that you can make the dash for it next turn.
And then what to use our last die for? I think I'll just get a destiny back.
That's probably a good move. Yeah, perfect. All right, let's see what the Cardinals captain does.
Excellent. And he moves up to 2 squares to align his template to the most characters. Then he makes a 2 prowess attack against all characters within the template.
Well, in this case, with the way we cornered him, he can't get both of us. So he'll turn, and I think, you know what? I'll let him come after me. How's that?
Sounds good.
2 prowess attack?
Yep.
All right. I take 1.
He's just beating on you.
Yeah, we gotta run. Get out of here.
Yeah, we're back to the player turn.
Let's all for one this and get out of here. All for one,
One
boot.
for all.
Oh, I guess I was right with the boot.
Yeah.
And then the altruism. The altruism allows us to use the bonus actions. I'll just run. You can get out, I think, and then I need the boot to get out.
Yeah. Let's make a break for it.
Go for it.
1, 2, 3, 4. And I've reached the stairs. I get to escape.
And I'm going to go sidestep, 2, 3, 4, 5. Use the boot to get out, and we're out. And
Excellent.
we've escaped the captain. And goodbye, captain. So he's going to have some problems dealing with the cardinal later. So, a quick recap of the game, of this introductory scenario that you'll learn the game from. We ended up leaving this mission with 2 coins, which would allow us to go through the equipment deck, a select few of the equipment deck. I think we draw the few off the top, and you can choose from that particular pool if you have the coins to buy, or you can save your coins for the next round. I ended up with 2 wounds, so a couple more and I would have gone down. I had a doom token, which was seriously hurting my ability to fight. There are ways to remove this in game.
Yeah, if we'd thought about it, we could have used some of our dice results to remove it.
That's right. So this is just the introductory version of it. You're seeing some of the basic elements of the game being played. There are other crazy things. We don't have it here to show you, but I just want to tell you about it because I'm super excited. There's something like this, of the same kind of size, but it's more of an octagon, and it is a chandelier shadow. And you're able to do really cool things. It'll have something similar to the barrel on it, which the barrel has a movement check. When you go up to the chandelier, you can make a movement check, and if you succeed in the movement check, which I just did right there, even though I rolled too few dice, you can actually just swing from the chandelier and get across it and do some crazy stuff. The game will get, the maps will get larger. There's a lot of tiles. They'll be reversible. You'll have a chance to actually see this game. They'll have multiple levels and stuff based on some of these, like the stairs. There'll be some veranda pieces, mezzanine pieces and stuff like that to help make this game a little more multi-leveled. You'll be able to do jumping tactics, sliding off of banners and stuff like that. When you get into the future scenarios, as the scenarios progress, the game has a certain complexity creep in a positive way that allows you to use your environment in a very swashbuckly kind of way, where you'll kind of be able to like do-si-do or jump around and leapfrog each other across the board to do really amazing things. And there isn't just Cardinals guards and Cardinals marksmen. There's a series of other bad guys that you'll be able to fight against. Some traditional, I don't know why I keep saying Albions, but some traditional legacy characters, bad guys.
Other enemies we've got a lot more name standees like this. We've also got Cardinals Deacons that we're adding.
Yeah, the Deacons are kind of like...
they're more magical.
Yeah.
So they add a lot of Doom effects and stuff. So that you're not just, Doom free until you get to one of the captains.
Just because, if you've ever played our legacy games before, we put a pretty heavy magic twist to it. Athos has got 2 flaming swords right now, so there's a lot to it.
Yeah.
The really interesting mechanic that we didn't really get a chance to get into very much, because the introductory mission doesn't quite do that, is that there's a lot to be done with this flipping token, which allows you to change your stance. It's really interesting with the weapons that you fight with, but it's also interesting in future endeavors that it allows you to do reactionary things with other enemies, especially bosses, where potentially a fight can go back and forth quite intense, with reactions back and forth on each other based on what your stances are and stuff like that. Advantages and disadvantages are also part of the game, which you'll get into when you play the game. So this is sort of just your basic ground level to show you that this is the first scenario, and hopefully you get a chance to now see what the game is about. And it's been a little while since we've given you an update, and hopefully you like what you see. Anything you want to add to it, Aaron?
No, that pretty well covers it. You know, some exciting things that you want to take a look at in the rule book that we're uploading. It's things like, you know, these scenarios. This is just one room in a scenario. They're presented on cards with some like multiple choice, choose your own adventure elements between the cards. So each of the scenarios lays out sort of what happens in addition to what's printed on the card. So, you know, this was a pretty basic scenario that we just walked through. But you'll see, like, especially a lot of the later on missions, they add extra effects and things that elaborate on what's happening in the layout.
Well, a little bit of a story going on too with the Cardinals guards and stuff like that. There's not just the three Musketeer characters, the ones we have here to show you. There's Constance and Queen Anne are part of the core set, and then if you look at the bundle has 6 other characters attached, and it just goes from there. So we've got, there you go. There's your Gascony Legacy introductory level playthrough. This will be what you'll learn from when you get the game. I recommend going through it. Much like any game that has an introductory level, it's just to teach you the basics of the mechanics and show you some of the basic elements of the game, hay bales and all that fun stuff, and then just get into the next scenario and rock and roll. So thanks very much for watching.
Later, Kickstarter.